Welcome everyone back to another episode of Q&A with Sharon's son George. I was my mother's caregiver after she was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Sadly, she passed on 1/1/2020, but we started togetherforsharon.com in her memory and to advocate for a cure for all those still battling PD today and their families, because no one is ever alone in this fight for a cure. Today's guests are some individuals who are really important to me, really, as we spoke before we started the show, keep me going, because there's some tough days I've had in my life losing my mother, but our guests today truly inspire me to never give up and to keep fighting towards a cure. So I want to welcome you both, and hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm just so excited. I'm not sure who we should start with, but if anyone wants to jump in and tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Ladies first, I have
Oh,
learned.
Thank you, Rune. Well, my name is Hanne. I am 48 years old. I live in Norway, in a town called Namsos. It's in the middle of Norway, 200 kilometers north from Trondheim. Here I live with my two daughters, Sigrid, which is soon 20, and Ingeborg, who's 16, and I have a little dog. As a degree, I am a biomedical laboratory scientist, but now I work as an assistant section lead in the local hospital here in Namsos. And since November, I've reduced working, so now I work part-time. I try to live an active lifestyle with hiking, skiing, volleyball, and since September 2023, also cycling on Zwift. And I was diagnosed with Parkinson's in December 2019.
Well, I want to welcome you to the show and thank you for all you do. I'm excited to talk about a lot of the things that you're doing today in advocacy, and also about Norway, because we're in South Florida right now, but it is beautiful to be able to advocate together around the world, because I do feel together our voices are so much stronger. So thanks and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now the gentleman in the room.
Oh, that's us. George is.
That's you. I don't know about me, but you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Well, my name is Rune Vethe, and I also live in Norway, but a bit further south than Hanne is. I'm living in a town called Sandefjord, which is about 1 hour and 30 minutes outside or southeast of Oslo, the capital of Norway. I live here with my wife Gunhild and the two boys. They are now soon to be 19 and 17 years old. I am a retired family therapist. I worked as a family therapist and educational therapist actually in the child and adolescent psychiatry for many years. But in 2019, I retired due to my Parkinson's disease, which I got in 2009. And I got a DBS, a deep brain stimulation, in 2020, exactly 5 years ago, actually, in March. So, which helped me a lot. And I am very fond of exercise. I've been exercising all my life, actually, but with the Parkinson's diagnosis, it's also a good thing to exercise. So I do both cycling, and I just now returned back home from a rocksteady boxing class in Oslo. Yeah, so there we are.
Welcome to the show. It's great to see Rocksteadies around the world now. We had the CEO on the show, and he's been a great help to try to help gain awareness for Rocksteady boxing. So it's very cool to know it's Norway too.
Yeah, cool. Ryan Cotton, isn't it?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, cool. It's a great
One
guy.
thing that kind of is, upsetting to me, but also inspiring is how young you both are. I feel like I'm 99 right now because of what I've been through with my back, but at least and I don't know how old you both are besides what you said, but it is, very young, and you're both kind of retired, or do you feel you've been forced in a way to retire because of the disease, or how do you, handle that? Because I do want to bring awareness on the show that Parkinson's affects so many, not, just elderly men, not just the false misconceptions that are possibly out there. We're really trying to break the mold and show people that individuals like yourselves can be diagnosed at a young age, but still be out there doing sports, cycling, and doing things, and still can live a healthy life despite battling the diagnosis.
Yeah, yeah, Hanne, go ahead.
Yeah, I can say, yeah, we are both young, and we have retired from work, but we have many other jobs to fill the day with, and training is a new job. So, and that's the way I see it, and Rune has helped me a lot to think that way. That we've just changed focus from our ordinary job to other things, other jobs.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that we've learned here, and I've discovered through all the guests we've had. This is almost episode 200 now, in only a few months. But although Parkinson takes careers and things, a new one is blossomed. Friendships. I'm sure none of the three of us would have met. I never dreamt I'd be speaking, right now in Norway. The only parts which you're probably both tired of hearing is all these Viking shows and Game of Thrones, which I do have to visit someday, and I'll call you when I'm in your town because I do want to visit some of these areas someday. But it's really, inspiring and fascinating to me that the relationships we do gain like this today, and they mean the world to me. So thank you both for that. Before we do get to some important topics on the ZWAP and also the World Parkinson Congress, how do you kind of, live healthy daily and slow the progression through cycling and other sports?
Yeah, exercise is an important part of my everyday life now, and also Hanne, I guess, and it's becoming more and more clear that vigorous and hard exercise might slow the progression of this disease. And for me, as I got a diagnosis when I was 34 years of age, and then to try to prevent the symptoms from stealing more of my life, and in the end here, then exercise is an important tool, so to speak, and boxing has certainly been a huge part of it, but also now then cycling and cycling indoors, with the opportunity of Zwift, where we can exercise hard in my own home, here in my basement. I have my indoor bike trainer standing here, so I can just step down to my basement and exercise hard whenever I want, actually. And also I can do that in a exercise setting with a group of like ZWAP. We have our own club now, and we have exercise there where we meet several times a week, and across the globe. So it's really a huge part of my journey with Parkinson's right now.
And actually, since you're mentioning that, I'm going to share a few resources, and maybe you can also talk to everybody listening, all the audience, on how they can get involved, how they can also join in this incredible group. Please go to zwap.world to join our amazing guests on their journey and their fight through exercise. But maybe one of you can also talk us through the website and how important it is to you.
Yeah, Hanne, will you say something about that?
Yeah, the website is in English, so it should be very nice or easy to read for very many, and it's refurnished, or it's redone. It's very much useful information here. You find information of how to get started with Zwift, and you get information about which equipment you can choose, the tours that we arrange. We arrange real tours in real life. We also arrange tours, virtual tours, and we have some members that have presented themselves. And here you can also see the tours that we have been on and the ones that we are going to join. And this year we're going to Portugal, but and next year we're going to the United States.
And I'm excited. I hope to be able to see you live at this event. That also takes me to something important that's one of your backgrounds, and that's the World Parkinson's Congress. And I was wondering if you could touch on how you got involved with them and, you know, what they mean to you, and also the teamwork. You know, I feel, again, we have to be a team like we are today in spreading awareness to come closer to a cure around the world. And until the cure is at everybody's doorsteps worldwide, I won't stop. But maybe you could touch on, you know, what the World Parkinson Congress means. Also, I can see I should be addressing you as captain. Oh wait, not, the captain's not here, but there's a lot. There's the same name.
That's true. It's two of us,
Maybe you
indeed.
could touch on the World Parkinson Congress and how excited I am to hopefully see you do this live in Arizona in 2026.
Yeah, I can say something about that. You know, the World Parkinson Congress has been really, really important to me in my journey with Parkinson's. I first attended the Congress in 2016 in Portland, and I was just blown away about the way it went away. You know, there were more than 4,000 delegates there, and it's so brilliant that researchers and scientists and healthcare workers meet up with the patients themselves, you know. And that's, as I was working as a family therapist for many years, and all those congresses I went to there, you know, we never saw or met the people that they really mattered to, you know. And that's and the way we are meeting there is really, really huge and important. And also the camaraderie and the fellowship in the Parkinson community that springs out of there, and also the YOPD people meeting there, it's really, really been important to me. And I also then became an ambassador for the Congress in Kyoto. And then finally, and where I also in the Congress met with Alison Anderson and Geoff Constable, and we were met up, and we had never met before, but we really liked hanging out, and we started to speak about boxing, and also started to speak about cycling. And from there, when I got back home, you know, Alison and I were messaging and chatting, and she at one point she just we were chatting about the Barcelona Congress, and she asked me, "Do you want to hear an crazy idea? What if we cycled or biked to Barcelona to the Congress?" She said, "What do you think about that?" And I said, "Yeah, that's cool." And from there, you know, we hang up with the Geoff from Australia, and we spoke with the CEO of the Congress, and from there the program of Bike to Barcelona started evolving, and that ended up in three teams actually. One from Brighton in UK, and one from Italy, and one team from Spain that all rode to or biked and cycled to Barcelona.
Yeah, that's why I think it's beautiful to have technology today, because 10 years ago we might not have been able to, you know, communicate, but it brings people around the world together. And that's the one thing I really love about the World Parkinson Congress. I didn't even know that there were 10 million people around the world battling PD until 2 years after my mother passed, because in the US, you know, it's like you're in this little box, you're not really aware. So it's so important that you're all doing this and out there for the cause. So thank you again for all both of you do. Want to also share some other beautiful moments I found on this one's on LinkedIn, where you can find our guests also. This was a great advertisement. You might recognize this gentleman.
Yeah.
And also, this is another great page, and I'll link all these to to the show, so everyone can also support both our guests and join them in their fight towards a cure. So I want to thank you both for that. We reached a point on the show where I like to ask a few kind of, you know, fun questions. If you want to take turns, or anyone could jump in. Can you list 3 words that describe who you are?
Yeah, I'm an active person. I like to motivate other people, and 3 words. Yeah. I try to be positive most of the
Right.
time.
And now the next question, we could rotate here. It's is there a moment or most memorable moment for you, Rune, that stands out through all of the work you've done so far with awareness? Is there one special moment that kind of, stands out over all the others?
Oh, yeah, that's many. But like now, it's from our Tour de ZWAP in 24, where we rode in north of Norway, and that just to see the two of the contenders, or it was Addison, who I mentioned also, was chatting with one of the new people there, Ruth, and they were chatting for miles, and they had never met before that ride, and that sort of makes sense to me, to see that happen. The meeting between people in such an activity, that's really, really huge for me.
Thank you. How about if someone, unfortunately, and likely listening, has just been diagnosed with Parkinson's, what advice could you provide to them?
Yeah, often I say, be careful with advices. That's my best advice, actually.
That's a good one. Is there something you might have done differently looking back 10 years ago when you found out you were diagnosed?
Well, we know a bit more now than we did in 2009 about the Parkinson's, and exercise. I was doing that then, but nutrition is maybe one of the things that I would have been more done more around, to sort of adapt to a better way of nutrition.
Yeah, these are important questions. The one we're actually doing now is trying to gain more awareness for everything. But is there anything, Hanne, you think that maybe we could do or the world can do to get more people on board? Because I feel like you probably agree, we need everyone, whether diagnosed or not, on this kind of bicycle race towards a cure. So how can we get more people, involved?
I think that online training and things that we can do online that can really help connect people, and you really learn by getting to knowing other people and talking to other people. You really help yourself, but you can also help other people in the daily fights that we do every day. And the things we do with the online cycling, I really think that really matters for many people. We do a very important job. We don't have to talk about our disease, but we can just be there and know, and you can see that, okay, we're in the same situation every day, all of us that are fighting this together.
Thanks. And
Yeah, can I just chime in there,
please.
because we are cycling indoor on Zwift and so on, but we also have Zoom calls like this, sitting here with you, George, and many times a week I sit there at every exercise we have. We have Zoom calls alongside as we ride. So we sit there. I meet Hanne. We sit in the middle of Norway. We ride along with the people from Scotland, from Spain, from Canada, and from US, from the west coast of US. And we chat like this. In a free chat around everything, actually, from bad jokes and what happens in the weekend to serious Parkinson's issues, that we can share. We can share experiences from that, and there you got modern technology in a way that's really makes sense and is important to us.
I agree, and I'm again grateful for both of your time today. And hopefully, everyone listening will not just support you, but share this, because till there's a cure, this conversation has to continue even after the show. So I know I'll be sharing it multiple times, but we do hope everyone will support World Parkinson Congress and our guests and the ZWAP Cycling Club. I had a fun question for both of you. While you're riding the bike, whether it's live outside or at home, what would the theme song of your life story be? So you must have some kind of music in your mind that keeps you going. Is there a song that you kind of want to share that would be your theme of your life story?
I want to ride my bicycle. Is that a song?
I like that one.
I often listen to the fight song. That's yeah. This is my fight song.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. If you had one wish granted, what would it be?
Well, the obvious answer is to make all my wishes granted from now.
That's a good one. What if it's one in addition to finding a cure? Is there a different one?
Well, you know, it's either to find a cure is important, you know, and we all want that would sort of solve it, but also to ease everyone's life here and now and forward with that, because it's a hard disease we got, you know, and we're living with it. So to sort of ease the people's pain and also the mental or giving people mental strength in this fight we're in. If that could be sort of something to give, I would like that.
I would, of course, I would wish that I wasn't in this situation, but now when I'm in this situation, I'm very glad for all the people that I met and the new networks that I have. And I really think that I have a much bigger network now than I ever would have had without this disease. And so many nice people, and seeing how they fight, that really makes me believe that I can also do this. Rune was diagnosed 10 years before me. He's still on his bike. I'm also going to be on my bike for many, many years.
Well, like I said earlier, you both inspire me, but I was wondering, an audience likely is too, who are your heroes and who inspires you?
Yeah, well, you know, many heroes around, but like cycling and so on, you know, Davis Finney himself, he's made his foundation, but I also had the opportunity to speak with him on a video call a couple of months ago, and he's really, really inspiring. From there to Snorri from Iceland, who's one of our Zwifters, who's had Parkinson's for 20 years, and he's really, really an inspiration for me as we speak.
Thank you.
If we stay in the Parkinson's world, I've mentioned Rune many times, and to see how he fights his disease and gets through the days, that really motivates me and has really helped me a lot. And I've said it many times, Rune. Thank you for seeing me and helping me and motivating me. That's and I really mean that.
Thank you.
Well, I'm taking some credit. Thank you to both also for motivating me and inspiring me, and also so many others, I believe, listening today. As we kind of wrap up, but I don't like to say close, because I do think this has to be continued until the cure is at everybody's doorsteps. As I mentioned over and over again, we have a lot of work still to do to find a cure. Please go to the ZWAP's website, sign up, and you can join these amazing cyclists online. I'm sure they'll be honored and have fun. I imagine a Zoom with 400 people someday. Maybe we'll get 1 million. Hopefully we could break the thing, because until you got 1 million riders, I won't be happy and I won't rest. Also, please go to the World Parkinson Congress, and you might be able to see our cyclists live riding into the event. I hope I get the opportunity. But as we close just for today, maybe we can go around the room. And if you could leave the Parkinson's community today with some words of encouragement, what would they be? Ladies first.
Okay.
Should we stay in the Parkinson's world, or did you say that we were going to leave it?
Oh, no, yeah. Imagine somebody listening is in the Parkinson's community. Would you have any words of encouragement for them today?
Yeah, I have a sentence that I use in a presentation that I have, and that is I have a rich life, but it just didn't turn out how it was meant to be. But it's still a very rich life, and that I really mean that. That my life is rich, and it's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and in the line of maybe of being careful with our advices and so on, I think find your own way in this is sort of my word. And when you find it, ride on and fight back and all those things at the same time. Yeah.
No, I appreciate it, and I love that. It's something I'll take to my heart and think about daily as we continue to advocate for a cure for Parkinson. I do have a little message for our guests and everyone listening. We love you, we support you, we care a lot about you, and you're never alone. I, along with these amazing, inspiring individuals, will advocate for you, and I feel together our voices are so much stronger. And just so you both know, everyone out there knows I'm just getting started, because even though some days I have my own trouble, health and life in the world, as I'm sure from Norway to Florida to the US to Chicago to everywhere in the world, we all have the one common goal, and that's to find a cure. But until that day comes, we still have so many out there diagnosed like you both, who I care a lot about, and send our love and support to you and your families and all the riders and everyone out there listening. The time today means the world to me, and thank you both for being a guest.
Thank you, George.
Thank you.
Thanks. And like I said, this might be continued live in Arizona someday in the World Parkinson Congress, I hope. But I want to thank both of you again for your time, friendship, and I'm just excited to see the future. I know we have the advocacy is in some great hands. And please, again, join and support ZWAP, whether donating or just attending means the world to us all. This has been another episode of Q&A with Sharon and George. Please stay tuned. We have so much more to come, so much more work to do, and the three of us won't rest until the cure is at everybody's doorsteps around the world. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone.